What is self-inductance? Do you remember? Whenever there is a change in current in a coil or through a coil, EMF is induced in the coil due to change in magnetic flux. And hence an induced current starts flowing in the circuit. That will be having a nature of opposing the incoming current through the coil, right? That is called self-inductance. The knowledge of self-inductance is very important when you study in the later stage what is called electronics and all. Inductor is a very important circuit element in AC, in electric and electronic circuits. Inductor is a very important circuit element. Resistance is also very important circuit element. Capacitor is also very important circuit element, right? So all these are consolidated. That is called integrated circuit. So in an integrated circuit, all these things will be present. Capacitor also will be there. Inductor will be there. Resistance will be there. All these things will be there, right? So now this is self-inductance of a long solenoid. That is the topic. Self-inductance. Self-inductance of a long solenoid. Solenoid, everybody knows. It's a long coil of wire having large number of turns. It is made of insulated copper wire, right? So this shows a coil, what is called a solenoid, long solenoid. Long means its length is much greater than the radius of, the area of cross section. The radius is less and the length is very large. Such a solenoid is a long solenoid, right? Large number of turns will be there. Suppose the number of turns in the solenoid is equal to capital N, and number of turns per unit length is equal to the length of this. This is actually self-inductance arrow, and this small l is the length of that, right? Number of turns per unit length, the small n is equal to capital N divided by L, also we can write. So we are having a solenoid shown in the figure of a length L and area of each turn is equal to capital R, right? And it has n number of turns. Total number of turns in the coil is equal to capital N. Hence, the number of turns per unit length is equal to what? N divided by L, right? When current flows through this, flux inside of the solenoid varies. At any instant, the flux density. At any instant, the flux density inside the solenoid is given by V is equal to mu 0 Ni, we can write. Already studied when I taught you Ampere circuital theorem. There is an application of Ampere circuital theorem. Then we discuss this one. Two things we discussed. One is long solenoid, the flux density inside a solenoid when current passes through that. And also the other one is toroid. These were the two applications of Ampere circuital law. So when current flows through the solenoid, the flux density, that means through unit area inside the space of the solenoid, the intensity of magnetic field or flux density, intensity of magnetic field is also called as flux density, magnetic flux density. It is given here, right? Okay. Now, magnetic flux, if this is the flux density, flux linked to each turn of the solenoid is given by phi is equal to flux linked to each turn of the solenoid. So phi is equal to, that is phi is equal, everybody knows that. That means flux density in the area. dA cos theta, right? Okay. So that is, we can write that is equal to flux density into area of each turn. Understand? This is the condition, right? This is equal to mu 0 small n I into capital A also we can write. But small n is equal to capital N divided by L. In that sense, we can write this as equal mu 0 capital N divided by L into I the whole into A. This is flux through each turn of the coil. Right? Okay. So now, but self-inductance is equal to what? But the self-inductance. Self-inductance is given by L. Self-inductance L is equal to N into 5 by N into phi by I. What is N phi? N phi is the flux linkages. Flux linkages means the flux through each turn into total number of turns. That is N phi divided by N. Right? This is equal to N by I into phi. Also we can write. This is the value phi. This is the flux through each turn. This is N phi is flux linkages. Flux linkage is the product of number of turns of the coil and flux through each turn. That is N phi divided by I. That is N by I into phi. This is equal to N by I into phi is equal to what's that? Mu 0 capital N divided by L into I into A. Also be this I and I cancel. Then what do you get? This is, that is L is equal to mu 0. Mu 0 is there. N and N is equal to N square. N square into A is there. The whole divided by L is. This is the self-inductance of a coil. Very important formula. This is self-inductance. Self-inductance is having a unit Henry. Henry is a big unit yesterday I said. So smaller versions are also used. So this is a solenoid having air core. The core inside, the medium inside the solenoid is air. Then this is the value of self-inductance. If inside a solenoid, another material of relative permeability mu r is introduced, then L is equal to mu 0 mu r n square A the whole divided by N. So this is the self-inductance of coil of a solenoid having a core whose relative permeability is mu. But everybody knows that very simple thing. Mu 0 mu r is equal to mu only. Mu 0 mu r is equal to mu only because mu r is equal to mu by mu 0. Mu r is equal to what? Mu r is equal to mu by mu 0. What is mu? Absolute permeability of a medium. What is mu r? What is mu 0? Absolute permeability of free space. The ratio of these two is called relative permeability, right? So mu 0 mu r in place of that we can write as is equal to mu n square A the whole divided by N, where mu is the absolute permeability of the magnetic permeability. Magnetic permeability also we can speak. And this is the thing about, am I correct? The self-inductance of a long solenoid, the formula has been derived. So you can note down all these things very soon, right? And notes also will be ready. This is about the self-inductance of a long solenoid. That topic is over. Now I am going to teach you energy, magnetic energy stored inside a solenoid. Magnetic energy stored inside a solenoid. Right? Magnetic energy stored inside a solenoid. Magnetic energy, yes. So we are considering again a solenoid, right? Having its length L. The rate of change of current through the solenoid is sometimes called as inductor also. So magnetic energy stored inside a solenoid or inductor also we can write inductor, right? At any time when current flows through a solenoid or an inductor, the rate of change of current is di by dt. Rate of change of current is di by dt because through an inductor, the current will always vary. Because when current starts flowing through an inductor, magnetic field is set up inside. A magnetic flux is created. Right? That magnetic flux will induce an EMF and hence a counter current that will try to oppose the incoming current. Therefore, the growth of current through an inductor is slow. It becomes maximum after a certain interval of time. This is the condition. So gradually the current through a coil increases. when a potential difference applied across the two ends of an inductor, the current will increase gradually. So there will be always change in current through an inductor. So at any instant, the rate of change of current through an inductor is di by dt, and L is the self-inductance of the coil. Then EMF induced is equal to EMF induced in the coil is equal to what is called L into di by dt, or minus L into di by dt also we can write. This is the induced EMF. Am I correct? Okay. If the source sends a current I for a small time dt, because source is there, so with the help of source only, the current is actually flowing, trying to flowing through the coil, right? So at any instant, the source is sending a current of I ampere in a small duration of time dt. Then the work done by the source is given by work done. So work done by the source is given by dw. Why dw? Because the current I is flowing through the coil or flown through the coil with the help of the source. Who does the work? The source is doing the work to send the current I through the coil for a time small dt seconds. Then for that, the small amount of work done by the source is given by, because work done in electricity is equal to current into voltage into time. So current into voltage into current voltage into time is V into I into T. In this case, the induced EMF is minus L into di by dt. Therefore, the applied EMF or EMF of the source is equal to negative of this, plus minus of minus L into di by dt. That is what is called applied EMF. That is applied EMF E into, that is actually equal in magnitude, opposite in, there are induced EMF is equal in magnitude, opposite in effect. Opposite effect. That means the incoming, the applied EMF will be always opposed by the induced EMF. Therefore, applied EMF is equal to negative of this value. So E into I into dt we can write. E into I into dt. Here E means the applied EMF. The source is sending current through the coil, right? In that situation, who does the work? The source is doing the work. Work done in an electric circuit is equal to voltage into current into time. This is voltage into current into time. But voltage is same as equal to minus of this value. That is equal to L into di by dt into I into dt we can write. Am I correct? This dt and dt cancels. We will get this as equal to L into I di I can write. Am I correct? Yes. So this is the small work done in sending a current I for a very small time, 80 seconds. Right? Okay. If the current sent is from 0 to I0, the total work done is given by, increase the current from 0 to I0, the total work done is given by W is equal to integral 0 to I0, integral 0 to I0, L I DII can draw it. LIDI we can, because we are getting the expression in terms of I only, right? For a small amount of current, right? DI to pass this, we are getting the final expression as in terms of I only, right? So to increase the current, or a current ranging between 0 to I0, that means current is increased through the circuit from 0 to I0, the total work done by the source, the current is always changing through the inductor, right? When a potential is applied, the current gradually increases. So to send the current from 0 to I0, the total work done is going to, okay, L can be taken outside. That is L into integral 0 to I0. What I dA I can write. This is equal to L into what? I square divided by 2 within limits of 0 to I0 also I can write. This is finally coming as equal to L I0 square divided by 2. That's equal to half L L I0 square. Half L I0 square. So this is the energy. What energy? Magnetic energy stored inside an inductor when current flows through that. Right? This is a very important one. Simply, generally we can write the energy inside. That is U is equal. This U is equal to half L I zero square. Yeah, simply we can write energy stored inside is equal to half L I square. This is not only for inductor. Anywhere when there is change in magnetic field, the energy inside that region is given by half L I square. Right? Anywhere there is a change in magnetic field like this when current goes through, right? Yeah. Then we can write this formula. Energy stored inside the magnetic field is equal to half L I zero square. In the same way, in the case of capacitor also we have seen, right? What is energy stored in the space between the two plates of a capacitor? That is equal to half CV square. Always half, half, half. Actually, the value is Li0 square. Some value of the energy is always lost. I used to speak holistically that the nature always takes x, right? So we have created Li0 square, but half is taken by the nature as x, right? For example, mv square is suppose if you run with the velocity v, the kinetic energy gained by you are producing the kinetic energy that your body produces equal to mv square only, just like mc square, Einstein's relation. The kinetic energy is equal to mv square. But the used value of the energy is equal to only half. Another half is gone, dissipated. That is taken as tax by the nature, right? Okay. So this is U is equal to half L I0 square. L is the self-inductance of the coil. I0 is the current in the coil. So this is also another important topic I taught you. Tomorrow I will come with another topic that is mutual induction, right? That will be done tomorrow. Till then, bye bye. Thank you very much.